Scentland, the land of scent. Hello everyone, I'm Chris. Today it's not a review, but it's more of an insight into my collection, which I have been talking about in my reviews already a few times. And I thought that I'll give you a little bit of a, as I said, insight or really in-depth information, or more in-depth information, or direct view of the collection itself, which is actually sitting here behind me on 4 shelves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there any particular order? Is there? There is. Actually, these ones are the black bottles. Those ones are the green, going over to blue bottles. And the top shelf is the messy shelf. There's fragrances being put back and forth, and I'll take one off, put one back, and it looks like messy as that. I try to make it orderly, but there's always something. It comes into my mind. Pick one fragrance, and then I don't make the effort to put it back properly. I'm sorry. So there's one particular shelf actually that has a special function. Special function, right? Because it's been entirely dedicated to Monsieur Alain Delon. My favorite French actor, and it was indeed Alain Delon's fragrance from 1979. That was my very first fragrance in my life that I bought for myself. It is this baby here, the original Alain Delon. Got this in November 1990, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That was the first fragrance that I bought for myself. Not this bottle, but obviously same one. And I'm gonna particularly deep dive into Alain Delon branded fragrances, because they're not your typical celebrity cheap, meaningless stuff. It's really well done and well thought through and well executed fragrances, and I'm going to deep dive there. And actually Alain Delon fragrances, and most of them, especially the original, the old ones like Plus or Iquitos, get a lot of love in the fragrance community, so I'm going to deep dive there. But we have other fragrances, which is all sorts of fragrances up here, I have mainstream, I have designer, and I have niche as well. I have 80s powerhouse, I have fougères, I have aquatics, I have citrus fragrances, I have green fragrances, I have all sorts of fragrances here, so it's real fun to review them. And I want to share them, all with you, give you the insight that it's always my opinion that when I'm doing a review, it's always, what do I think of the fragrance? What do I get out of the fragrance? And but it's such fun, and I've seen all these great reviews by guys like Kerosene or Christo or Frank, or that is really the reason that got me started. That I would like to have this opportunity to as well to talk about my love, my fragrances. So, as I said, I think it's 160 bottles around. My wife counted them recently, and she's good with numbers, so she knows. The question could be, if you're looking at this, why? Why? There's no better place to spend your money than on these babies here. Well, it certainly is. Each one his own, but for me, it's a great hobby, and it started very early when I was a kid. It started almost the same way, like for the guy who runs and owns CB I Hate Fragrances company. I don't know, CBR, I think his initials. I've seen a documentary with him, and he's explaining about his first experiences with scents in the garden of his grandmother, and that's when he got started. For me, I was looking at him when I've seen it on a TV, and I thought, well, I'm not alone. It's the same for me. When I came first to the country I'm living in, And I visited my grandma as a child in 1979. God almighty, it's a long time ago, baby. I was playing in the garden, basically, in the back of the house. It was this nice garden of vegetables and all that, and the sun was shining, and you know, I got these incredible scents, fragrances coming at me, and the next year I came back. Up until then I haven't smelled them again, but next year I came back, started to do the same, and it immediately made click in my head, because it's all up here. It's not just the nose, it's the memories you associate with the scent. It's the way it makes you feel. It's the way it makes you act. It's the way it gives you confidence, or the way you can. It helps you to when you grieve. It helps you when you're happy. It revitalizes you when you do sports. It gives you confidence when you do business. A scent is much more than just a psst, psst, and you know, I'm attracting the other sex or the same sex. You know, it's much more. It is. I'm not attracting anyone anymore anyway, because I have a wife, so I'm off the game, baby. But it is much more than that. You know, just gathering compliments. When I wear a scent, it's for me first. It makes me feel great, and then I radiate this, hopefully, or I don't know, it's to judge by other people, but I radiate this off, you know, the feeling that I get, and I get compliments or not. I don't really care, but to me, it's fragrance is what it evokes in me, what it gives me, and what it triggers in me, and what it transfers me back to. But you know, just an example here, this fragrance, for example. I reviewed this already. Le Parfum, Eau Sauvage Le Parfum, Christian Dior. My latest trip to my beloved, much loved Dublin, Ireland, and Ireland countryside, Wicklow. That's perfect. I smell this, I get transported back. Or here, this one, very rare. And I have a backup bottle as well, Sport de Paco Rabanne. I smelled this springtime of 1990. I didn't have this fragrance at the time, but I had this little hanky that they gave you on a plane, where you could just open and, you know, use it as a refresher. And I had that in Sport de Paco Rabanne, and I use it, and whenever I smell this, I get transported back 24 years. Yeah. But as I said, you know, it's not only happy memories, it's sad memories as well. Ninfeo mio anni gutal. Hoppa, hey. What the heck, Jack? Oh, I torn this apart. Anyway, I haven't hit it in my hand for a long time. But if I smell it, it's not good memories, because it's the funeral of my mother. So that is something that, you know, when I'm gonna smell this in the future, I'll be always reminded of this unfortunate thing. But it's a part of life. So Ninfeo mio, that was. Action sport from Trussardi. Playing soccer with the friends. That's the smell. Or the normal action here. Latest Metallica concert I went to in this year. It was in Vienna. I smell this, I get transported back immediately. Or here's a very mainstream fragrance. Adidas Sportfield. This is the perfect smell of a pitch, of a football pitch. Just a football pitch. Nothing more, nothing less. A sport field, a football pitch. Perfect. Really great. Or Very Valentino. I just have to smell this, and I'm transported back to Dubai in 2000, May of 2000. My goodness, my head starts to, you know. This actually is an interesting one here. The first one of this collection. You know, this probably collection has been started like it is now with this first bottle in 2006. Brings me back memories to southern France, to Saint-Paul-de-Vence, where I bought this bottle and used it in the summer of 2006. What else do we have here? Well, almost each and... Well, here. This is another beauty of my collection. I'm so proud of this. Karl Lagerfeld. Transports me back to my beloved Dublin, Ireland. It's just amazing. I walk the streets again when I smell this, and I walk into a nice restaurant there. It's terrific. So as you see, no matter what, the mainstream niche designer, you know, there's lots of stuff, and I'm gonna be reviewing it. I started already, and I'm gonna deep dive into the fragrances, and you're gonna get loads of insights into your designer fragrances like Trussardi or Valentino Ungaro or Roberto Cavalli, or you know, anything, or your niche fragrances like we have here, Parfum d'Empire or Annie Goutal or Montal, or what else do we have? We have loads. Etro, Creed, you name it. I'm going to deep dive into each of these. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm enthusiastic about it. And I have already a few reviews out. And these are the guys, the ever-growing collection that I have that I'm going to be digging into with each review. Your feedback is highly welcome. I'm really looking forward to it. And you know, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I really do. See you next time with the next review. I did already 2 today. I'm very productive. Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah. Still here?